Now on CoastTV News.
Future rehabilitation on a small bridge is causing a big controversy in Frankfort. And thousands of outages across Delaware, new numbers released about those outages. And we take a look outside to the weather that's causing those outages. Over 50-mile-an-hour gust of wind there in Milford. It was a windy one today on Delmarva.
Yes, it was. We had quite a day with temperatures in the 60s, winds gusting as high as 60 across parts of the peninsula. Now, Arctic air filtering back into the peninsula, and we await a potential snowstorm later on next week. We'll talk all about that coming up in my full forecast.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
Seaford house fire, what officials now know about this fire. Good evening, I'm Brandon Ferguson and welcome to CoastTV News at 11. We begin tonight with that Seaford house fire. This afternoon, Blades Volunteer Fire Company and other companies responded to this fire on your screen in Seaford, and units worked on the scene jointly to bring the fire under control. And that is all the information we have right now. There's no word on any injuries resulting from this fire, and the scene has now been turned over to the Delaware State Fire Marshal's office. And we now take a live look back into Milford, and our First Alert meteorologist, Chris Mastrobuono, joins us. And Chris, we're looking outside the station earlier today and some serious winds.
That's right. We had that wind-driven rain that moved through late this afternoon. We had some rain this morning, and this was a picture taken by our chief meteorologist, Paul Williams. You could see the uprooted tree there in the background, and we had quite some wind gusts across the area. Lewis coming in at 67 miles an hour. Bethel, 67. Dewey Beach was at 59 miles an hour there in Dover Air Force Base, coming in at 58 miles an hour. Milton, 57, and Georgetown, 46 miles an hour. This was also sent in by Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams. You could see the shingles there on the roof, and we also had reports of wind damage, non-thunderstorm related, in Laurel. That was around noon, as well as in Bethel. We had some uprooted trees there and parts of a roof missing, but that goes to show you the kind of winds we were dealing with across the area. Still seeing winds gusting 33 miles an hour. Indian River Inlet, 26 in Ocean City. We're at 29 in Salisbury. We continue to have those high wind warnings in effect through 6 o'clock tomorrow for Sussex, Kent, Talbot, and Caroline counties. Further to the south, we have a wind advisory up as well. Now, we had highs today in the 60s. It was incredibly warm for this time of year, so that felt good. But now, look, we are in the 30s. We're at 38, Bethany Beach, 37 in Harrington, 40 Princess Anne, and 38 in Cambridge. You can see the cold front pushed off the coast. You can see the lake effect snow and those streamers beginning over the mountains. Now that the high winds are going to continue through tomorrow. We're going to see gusts as high as 55 to 60 miles an hour, and then those winds will subside through Monday evening. It will be a blustery but sunny President's Day, wind chills in the teens and 20s, and then our snowstorm threat is increasing. Delmarva may be in line to be in the bullseye to see the most snow out of this snowstorm. We'll talk more about that coming up here a little bit later on in the newscast.
Thank you, Chris. And as you just mentioned about those winds being gust upwards of 60 miles an hour, crews for Delaware Cooperative have restored power to nearly 2,300 customers so far. Co-op says there's around 1,300 homes still without power, and it could be several hours or longer before the power is back on. And the National Weather Service are giving these tips when driving in high winds. Give large trucks and trailers extra space, and watch for downed tree branches and power lines that may have fallen into the roadway. And bridges and overpasses can be especially dangerous during these high winds. And traffic on the Chesapeake Bay Bridge was temporarily stopped earlier today due to those high winds. And the Bay Bridge has since been reopened, but drivers are urged to use caution as windy conditions are persisting. And there are some restrictions. Empty box trailers and lighter tractor-trailer combinations are prohibited from the bridge right now. And if you're driving tonight or tomorrow in Delaware and see a tree down, you can report them to DelDOT by calling #77. And in Maryland, there is a website with live updates on road closures as trees come down and are removed from MDOT. You can find that website at chart.maryland.gov. And at Newark International Airport in New Jersey, thousands of flights have been either delayed or canceled. So far, more than 8,000 flights have been delayed across the country alone, with more than 1,300 cancellations. And coming up next week, the winter expected storm Thursday morning and Wednesday night. You can listen to all of our radio stations, download our First Alert weather app, and follow our social medias for live updates. We are your source for this winter event. And back on Delmarva, future upgrades in Frankford is causing controversy. DelDOT plans to rehabilitate this bridge starting February 24th through mid-July, but as Coast TV News reporter Kevin Cepay shows us, owners of Bennett Orchards worries that this will hurt them and the community as a whole.
Bennett Orchards is a 7th-generation farm that started after the Civil War and has made a staple in Frankford as the place to go to pick peaches during the summertime. Hal Bennett says DelDOT's plans to repair a bridge on Route 20 closing down the road in front of their farm is causing a big worry among the family.
Farming is challenging enough. We deal with Mother Nature, we deal with diseases, impacts to our crop, a lot of things that are challenging for us that are out of our control. This shouldn't be something that we have to worry about.
DelDOT says it will rehabilitate this bridge between February 24th through mid-July. The agency plans to use that time to replace steel strips and slabs, milling and overlaying the concrete deck, repairing the underside of the deck and substructure, and finishing it off with cleaning and painting all the concrete and structural steel. Bennett says he understands why DelDOT wants to rehabilitate the 40-year-old bridge, but worries it's bad for his business and believes the timing couldn't be worse for everyone in the community.
The Indian River High School is a mile down the road. This is going to be a major inconvenience and a major issue for their busing. Other local businesses on this road are also going to be impacted. There's a detour that routes through a residential community on the edge of Frankford. Those roads aren't designed to handle that much summer beach traffic.
Bennett hopes DelDOT reconsiders its plans before they close down the bridge, at least for the time frame. I'm Kevin Cepay in Frankford, Coast TV News.
The Indian River School District is set to discuss their upcoming referendum. That referendum is looking for funding for operational costs and the recruitment and retention of staff. And the district is holding 3 meetings where you can find out more. The first on March 3rd at Lord Baltimore Elementary, the second March 12th at Indian River High, and the third on March 13th at Sussex Central. Each meeting starts at 7 p.m. and the referendum vote is scheduled for March 20th in Sussex County. Maryland State Police are investigating a deadly crash in Worcester County early this morning. On your screen now is where officials say a 34-year-old man from Pocomoke City was killed when a Honda Accord he was in veered off of Route 113 near Blades Road and struck a tree. The driver was taken to the hospital with injuries, and investigators believe impairment may have been a factor, but this crash remains under investigation. And Delaware State Police are investigating shots fired incident in Kent County. Troopers responded to a home on Crowberry Drive in Felton yesterday afternoon and found the home had been hit by 2 bullets, causing interior damage. No one was inside the home at the time, and no injuries were reported, and anyone with information is urged to contact authorities. And the Agriculture Department has issued a conditional license to a company to produce a bird flu vaccine for chickens. The vaccine maker Zoetis, and a company spokesperson, says its scientists began updating its existing avian flu vaccine several years ago. And last Friday, the government gave the company a conditional license, and the company previously developed vaccines for avian flu to protect California condors in 2023. And other countries already vaccinate their birds against the virus. And over the past 2 months on the Delmarva Peninsula, bird flu has had a significant outbreak. First, starting in December of 2024, snow geese were found in Sussex County dead with the bird flu. And so far in 2025, Maryland confirmed multiple cases of the bird flu, including one at a commercial broiler farm in Worcester County. In Salisbury, multiple fire units responded to a fire that broke out around 7 p.m. last night. These are photos from the Salisbury Fire Department of a home off of Old Ocean City Road where they found smoke coming from all sides of the house. Salisbury FD says the fire started in the basement and spread to the first floor, and multiple departments responded to put out the flames, and no updates on any estimated damages or possible injuries yet. Monday morning on Coast TV News, tune in for more fallout of the dangerous wind gust on Delmarva. And then coming up Monday evening on Coast TV News, the Sussex Correctional Institution in Georgetown, a place you wouldn't expect a positive change, but a series of workshops is doing just that. And coming up after the break, the Bethany Beach storm preparations, how the town plans to tackle future flooding.
Well, we're going to have plenty of sunshine for our President's Day, but it's not going to do a whole lot to warm us up, all thanks to those gusty winds. Again, it's going to feel like the 20s most of the day, so certainly bundle up, stay warm. We got plenty more cold to go this week, and we may have plenty more snow as well. We'll talk all about that coming up after the break.
Capture your favorite moments at the Coast TV photo booth. Strike a pose and snap a pic, all for free. View previous pictures and see the next event at coasttv.com under the Features tab. The Coast TV photo booth, sponsored by Baths by Spicer Brothers.
Is your cookware scratched inside and an eyesore on the outside? Introducing Gotham Steel Hammered Cream Cookware. Forged with an authentic hammered design, engineered with extremely strong titanium and tri-coated with ultra non-stick ceramic. Gotham Steel features double the non-stick release. Now you can cook healthier without all the butter or oil. Get this huge 15-piece set for 4 payments of $49.99 with free shipping.
To order, call 1-800-513-6408.
Coming up, it's a pro tip extravaganza with some of your favorite Drew coolers.
If I know it, it's a trend.
How to get the hottest fashion and home styles for less.
Gorgeous.
Monday at noon on Coast TV.
Well, we did have some good that came out of today. It was mild, and this beautiful photo sent in from Lou Salini out of Millsboro. Look at that sunset, that fiery sunset there, beautiful skies there. Perfect timing with that line of storms that came through across parts of Delmarva. And then we had the sunset, and well, now we have the cold air that's beginning to filter in. Right now, we are down to 38 in Milford. Dew point is 25, so that cold, dry air is filtering into the air. There's those wind gusts today. 59 in Dover. We saw 46, Salisbury, 52, Wallops Island, and 59 there in Baltimore. There you see the winds right now. We had southerly winds helped us warm today, 66. We're now seeing a west to northwest wind, sustained winds right now still. Sustained wind at 29 miles an hour there in Salisbury, 22 Indian River Inlet. We're gusting upwards of 32 Indian River Inlet. We're at 28 mile an hour gust in Georgetown, 27 in Salisbury. Temperatures right now holding upper 30s to lower 40s, and it was a warm one today, 66 degrees. That high came at 9:54 this morning. We just hit our low. Average is 48, the record 74, set back in 1954. High wind warnings continue for northern Delmarva through tomorrow. We have that wind advisory in effect for the southern portion of the area here for our next half hour. Storm warnings continue for the waters. You do not want to be out on a boat tomorrow as well. And we have a gale warning up from Ocean City down through Chicotee. You can see plenty of warnings back off to the west. Actually, a blizzard warning for portions of Pennsylvania and West Virginia. But we are clear, dry as the front has pushed off the eastern seaboard. You can see that colder air streaming in. You see these streaming snow bands, lake effect snow kicking in, high pressure, cold, dry air that's building in through much of the eastern half of the country. Look at that, 0 Minneapolis, -5 in Pierre, and you can see that warm air sinking to the south. So a blustery day tomorrow, winds still gusting upwards of 40 to 55 miles an hour. The wind chills will be the story. And then the big story, middle of the week, is going to be the chance for that significant snowstorm on Delmarva. 30 tonight, windy and colder, and those wind gusts by tomorrow afternoon still gusting upwards of 45, 50 miles an hour, and we keep it breezy into Tuesday, winds anywhere from 25 to 30. Wind chills by tomorrow morning are going to be feeling like the teens, only feeling like the 20s throughout the day. And by Tuesday morning, it is feeling like the single digits, setting the stage for that snowstorm. Tomorrow, we barely get to the 40-degree mark with those windy, clear skies. Futurecast, not much to track over the next few days. It's not until Wednesday morning we see clouds on the increase, awaiting that potential snow. Here's the coastal storm setup. We have low pressure to our southeast. Could be dealing with a wide swath of at least 6 inches or more of snow as we go into Wednesday night. You can see the snow creeping into the area by Wednesday, late afternoon to the evening hours, overspreading the area. Notice, well, that mix line's well off the coast. This would be a picture perfect track if you like snow on Delmarva, because that heavy axis of snow is virtually over the entire peninsula. And then you see it exit by around 3 o'clock on Thursday, and we dry out with cold air. You see a closer shot here, pretty much snowing everywhere by Wednesday night, continuing into the overnight, into Thursday morning, and then it tapers off by Thursday afternoon. And then you see those strong northwest winds, and we clear things out by your Friday. So we have 3 red alerts. We have red alert tomorrow, due in part for those high wind gusts. We get a bit of a break on Tuesday. We have a PM alert for the snow. Widespread snow developing. We'll continue to monitor the forecast and update things. Bob will have an update tomorrow on CoastTV News.
Thank you, Chris. And flooding, it's a threat to every one of our coastal towns and cities. In Bethany Beach, town leaders are always looking ahead to the next big storm. Flooding on the coast. Sound familiar?
The nature of the beast being so close to the water.
It's something Bethany Beach leaders have to be prepared for. Hurricane Sandy in 2012, which was the last time the town went under severe evacuation.
The big rainstorms fill up the drain, the water drains.
The dunes on the beach protect the coastal town from nor'easters, so people don't have to spend their days walking through the water. Ken and Kristen Upton live in Bethany Beach and say the storms are just hard to handle, but they think the town is doing what it can.
I think there's a pretty good infrastructure as far as drainage and sewer pipes and all that.
The town says around 30 to 40 days a year, Bethany experiences storm surge flooding, which Bethany is trying to fight against. To do that, they want to install a 3.5-foot dam that the town says would prevent up to 95% of the flooding. Celeste Walker is new to the coast and picked out a house closer to Ocean View than downtown, specifically to be farther away from flood issues.
I didn't want to have to deal with that unless you're up high. I didn't want to be subjected to damage and deal with floods.
While there's no flooding right now in Bethany Beach, today was just a few steps to make sure that this water doesn't end up at your doorstep for the next flood season. In Bethany Beach, Brandon Ferguson, Coast TV News. Bethany Beach officials say that dam is still in the permit process. And coming up on Coast TV News at 11, OpenAI board rejecting a Musk-led offer. That's after the break.
DSN Plus is more action. 4 additional live stream games every weeknight and full replays on demand. DSN Plus is more local. 5 live games every weeknight, showcasing high school showdowns and regional rivalries across Delmarva. DSN Plus is more access. Watch on your mobile devices, and remember, DSN is still free over the air and on cable. But get more with DSN Plus, just $6.99 a month. Download the Delmarva Sports Network app from your app store today.
You like to keep your beard perfectly groomed, but she hates all that mess. Now there's VacuTrim by Bell & Howell, the total body shaver that trims your hair and vacuums it up. VacuTrim stainless steel blades give you a precision cut, while the built-in vacuum captures the hair shavings. It has 20 trim settings to shape your beard and tame body hair with no mess. Get VacuTrim with free shipping for only $39.95.
Call 1-800-263-0608. That's 1-800-263-0608 or go to vacutrim.com.
Are you having trouble hearing your TV or listening to conversations in loud spaces? Then it might be time to consider Nano hearing aids. Nanos are FDA-registered OTC hearing aids. Don't be fooled by overpriced hearing aids. Prescription hearing aids could cost $3,000 or more. Nano hearing aids are now offering $100 off through this special TV offer. Call now and get 2 CIC rechargeable hearing aids for only $297. And if you're not happy, return them for a full refund.
OpenAI's board of directors has formally rejected a $97 billion purchase offer by Elon Musk and other investors. In a statement posted to social media on Friday, OpenAI's board chair said the company is not for sale, and the board unanimously rejected the bid. There's been a long-running feud between OpenAI and Musk, who co-founded the company known for creating ChatGPT. OpenAI started as a non-profit research lab with a for-profit entity, but it plans to restructure in a way that could make fundraising easier and increase returns. And the Department of Justice has fired multiple immigration judges on Friday. That's according to two sources familiar with the decision. The move comes after the immigration case backlog reached record levels during each of the last 3 years. That, according to a congressional research service. Tonight, a critical foreign policy priority for President Trump. Members of his team says they're heading to Saudi Arabia tonight to begin peace talks with Russia to end the war in Ukraine. But they're doing it without Ukraine at the table. Yamashi Alessandor has the latest from the White House.
Tonight, President Trump revealing that his team spoke with Russian President Vladimir Putin for hours ahead of high-stakes talks to end the war in Ukraine.
I think he wants to end it, and they want to end it fast. Both of them. And Zelensky wants to end it too.
The president adding that Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky will be involved in the negotiations. But Zelensky says he hasn't been invited to the first round of talks. Two U.S. officials telling NBC News the White House wants to host separate meetings before bringing Russia and Ukraine together. Zelensky sitting down with NBC's Kristen Welker.
Can you accept any peace deal that is cut without Ukraine?
No.
And do you feel like you have a seat at the table right now?
I not only count on it, I'm sure that we have to be there.
On his first trip to Israel as Secretary of State, Marco Rubio saying the Ukraine talks set to take place in Saudi Arabia are a starting point.
Vladimir Putin expressed his interest in peace, and the president expressed his desire to see an end to this conflict in a way that was enduring and that protected Ukrainian sovereignty.
The secretary is expected to attend, in addition to the president's Middle East envoy, Steve Witkoff, who has been speaking with Putin after helping to broker the Gaza ceasefire deal. White House National Security Advisor Mike Waltz will also attend. He has laid out 4 priorities driving the negotiations: a permanent end to the war, a diplomatic end to the war, economic integration, and changes to U.S. aid for Ukraine.
And in terms of long-term military security guarantees, those have to be European-led.
Questions remain about whether Ukraine will be expected to give up some of its territory seized by Russia.
Maybe Russia will give up a lot, maybe they won't.
We are staying with more news surrounding the Trump administration after the break. Trump's ban on gender care blocked. U.S. abortion deaths rising. That's coming up on CoastTV News at 11.
With all the choices of services on Delmarva, where do you even begin? Trust experts of various fields with Delmarva Experts. Sponsored by Kitchen Concepts Plus, Chesapeake Eye Center, Apple Discount Drugs, FLC Energy, Spicer Brothers Construction, Mattress Peddlers, Homewell Care Services, Robinson's Jewelry and Coin Shop, Mast Audiology Services, Riptide Restoration, and Delmarva Dave. Visit DelmarvaExperts.com for various local professionals offering the best of Delmarva. Delmarva Experts, local experts right when you need them.
It's the incredible Red Dog, the amazing universal socket tool that fits, grips, and tightens virtually any fastener. Look at all the different sizes and shapes, nuts, bolts, and screws. Any head will do. Red Dog grabs on tight and locks into place fast. It replaces hundreds of different tools, yet it's smaller than a battery. 54 telescoping steel pins mold around any object. Then, up to 150 pounds of torque knock out rusted fasteners. You can get Red Dog for just $19.99. Breaking news: Red Dog may be discontinued. Due to supply chain shortages, Red Dog is stopping manufacturing immediately. There's a strict limit of 3 per order while supplies last. Order now.
Call 1-800-519-7208. That's 1-800-519-7208 or visit byreddog.com. Call 1-800-519-7208 now.
Hi,
Hi, Chef Daniel Green here with my Bionic Blade, the new handheld blender that's rechargeable, so you can make a fast, healthy shake anywhere. It has the motor and blades built right into the lid, so blend a shake at the gym, make pina coladas by poolside, or grind coffee beans for an iced cold brew on the go.
Get the Bionic Blade for just $29.99 with free shipping. You'll also get 2 sipping lids, a second container, and the sports lid. Get it all for just $29.99. Order now.
This is my legacy.
Coast TV News can be heard on Coast Country.
A federal judge blocked President Donald Trump's executive order targeting health care for young transgender people. Judge Brendan Herson ruled Thursday that abruptly stopping gender-affirming care would be horribly dangerous. The decision effectively blocked Trump's order for at least 2 weeks. University of Virginia's health system said it would resume providing services that it paused under the executive order. But not every hospital is following suit. The Trump administration is expected to appeal the latest decision. And due to new abortion bans in some U.S. states, baby deaths are up. According to a study in the JAMA Medical Journal, child deaths rose nearly 6% in states where abortion bans were implemented. The study also shows the number of newborns who die from congenital anomalies was significantly higher in states where abortions are banned. And in your health news tonight, the CDC says a baby with a heart defect is born every 15 minutes. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither explains and goes over the factors that increase the risk of a heart defect developing.
It's a problem present at birth, affecting the structure of a baby's heart. Congenital heart defects range substantially from mild to severe.
And so really kind of seeing someone that has the expertise and the ability to differentiate between the two is important.
Dr. Glenn Iannucci with Children's Healthcare of Atlanta says initial symptoms may only be an extra sound or murmur found during a cardiac physical exam, or there may be an abnormality found on an x-ray. Some heart defects can also be found during pregnancy through a special type of ultrasound called a fetal echocardiogram.
But other signs can be kind of trouble feeding, persistent fast breathing, and poor weight gain in babies in particular.
The exact cause of most heart defects isn't fully known, but there are things that increase risk, including the mother having certain pre-existing conditions like diabetes or obesity, a family history of congenital heart defects, smoking during pregnancy, or certain medications taken during pregnancy.
If you know kind of what you're dealing with at the beginning, then really you can often be in front of the patient even developing symptoms.
Even though many heart defects aren't cured, advancements in care and treatments have led to longer and healthier lives in those who have them.
There are a wide variety of treatments that can include surgery, but can also include some non-invasive approaches.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Heart defects may not be found until later in childhood or even adulthood, but the doctor says some signs that someone may have an underlying heart problem include chest pain with activity, fainting spells, especially during exertion.
Well, it felt like spring out there today, not tomorrow. We're going to be back into the 30s, but it's going to feel more like the 20s throughout the afternoon, all thanks to those winds continuing to gust to 40 to 50 miles an hour at times. We'll have a look at that 10-day forecast when Coast TV News at 11 comes right back.
Coverage on the road, along the coast, live on the street, day or night. From breaking news to weather in your town, the IG Burton First Alert Weather Jeep.
You rip and tear your old statements and bills, but thieves use this information to steal your identity. Don't be a victim. Get the ID Police, the new ink roller that encrypts all your old documents. So before you throw it out, just roll it on, and your information is gone, both on the front and through the back. Even if the paper is held up to the light, even your medical information is safe with the ID Police. So block it out before you throw it out. Order now and get your ID Police for as low as $9.99 and get free shipping too. This offer is not available on Amazon, so call or click now to get your ID Police for as low as $9.99 with free shipping. Order now.
Call 1-800-803-0512. That's 1-800-803-0512. Or visit getidpolice.com. So call 1-800-803-0512 now.
This is the revolutionary socket fan by Bell & Howell. The amazing 2-in-1 ceiling fan and light. If you can screw in a light bulb, you can hang the socket fan light. Socket fan comes with this handy remote. You can control the light and the breeze that you need. Socket fan fits any standard light socket. You can do it yourself in less than 10 seconds.
And now, the socket fan lights with deep socket extender is yours for $49.95 with free shipping. Order now, and you can get a second fan for 50% off.
Get cool fast with Socket Fan.
Is your cookware scratched inside and an eyesore on the outside? Introducing Gotham Steel Hammered Cream Cookware. Forged with an authentic hammered design, engineered with extremely strong titanium and tri-coated with ultra non-stick ceramic. Gotham Steel features double the non-stick release. Now you can cook healthier without all the butter or oil. Get this huge 15-piece set for 4 payments of $49.99 with free shipping.
To order, call 1-800-513-6408.
That's the ketchup that was actually on the ceiling, just jumping around, squirting ketchup everywhere.
You were arrested. That's what it says? Yes, that's what it says.
Judge Judy.
Monday at 2 on CoastTV.
Listen to Big 107.7, Delmarva's classic rock station.
President Trump is in Daytona for NASCAR's first race of the 2025 season. The presidential motorcade rolling out of pit road at Daytona International Speedway, and the so-called Beast taking a couple fast laps around the 2.5-mile track, leading the pace car. And Sussex Tech Adult Education is expanding its heavy equipment operator apprenticeship program with the addition of a John Deere 184 G4 wheel drive loader, and the new equipment will provide students with hands-on experience using industry standard machinery. Participants complete 144 hours of training per year, and they could earn a certificate. And we move to celebrating Black History Month on the coast. The Rehoboth Beach Black American Film Festival is back for its 5th year, running February 21st through the 23rd at the Cinema Art Theater in Lewis. And the festival will showcase award-winning films, and receptions start at 6 p.m. this Friday.
Well, that spring-like feel we had earlier today, well, that is gone, and temperatures are back in the 30s across Cambridge, 37 there, and we're continuing to see winds gust of 38, Georgetown, 39 in Salisbury, 38 Indian River Inlet. You're going to continue to hear that wind overnight, and we're going to be continuing to deal with it throughout the day tomorrow. Tonight we fall into the 20s. We're looking at 34 tomorrow with those winds continuing to gust out of the northwest, and then we're at 26 in the Wednesday, the calm before the storm, so to speak. Now, we are going to see that area of low pressure track off to our southeast as we go into Wednesday night through Thursday. Now, right now, most of the models have pushed the system further to the south, putting most of Delmarva through South Jersey and into portions of Virginia in really the bullseye of where the heaviest snow may set up. Now, we still have 3 days to work on this. Now, it's going to may shift further to the north, further to the south, but overall, we'll continue to follow it and nail down the forecast here over the next few days as we continue to hone in on some snowfall totals as we go throughout the day tomorrow and into the early part of the week. You can get your forecast anytime by dialing the First Alert Weather Phone 443-880-9100. Sponsored by Brockstead, Mondalis, and Federico. Now, as we take a look at the 10-day, we have 3 red alerts. Now, the first one for tomorrow, President's Day, we have red alert in play, due in part for those winds gusting upwards of 40 to even 55 miles an hour. We get a bit of a break into Wednesday, and then we'll see the rain really begin to, the snow, really begin to work in there Wednesday through Thursday. And then we are looking at drier conditions into Friday as we see drier air work in. And look at that, Brandon, by next week, we're back into the 50s. That sounds pretty good, huh?
Looking good later into that week. Thanks for staying up late with us on Coast TV News at 11. For more news and local weather, download our Coast TV News app. And we'll see you in just a few hours, in about 4 hours, for Coast TV News Today, starting at 5 a.m. Have a great night.